Hey, what's up YouTube? Venom20 here tonight, and this is a part 2 to my original What is the best venomous snake to start out with. This video is mainly just running through different species. Like for instance, I've had some people ask, what about false water cobras? Well, as far as I know, I've never actually kept them, but they're relatively easy to keep. They have a pretty good demeanor about them. They are a rear-fanged venomous colubrid. They have to actually chew on you to inject the venom, since they are rear-fanged. It just mainly a mild swelling, a slight burning sensation. So as far as venom, I mean, they're not bad. I don't even know that I would consider them venomous. I think it's considering them about as venomous as the regular hognose snakes that you see for sale at every show, you know. But I don't know, a lot of keepers put them inside that venomous category, and I'm not exactly sure why. As far as I know, nobody's actually been seriously envenomated by them. But the main thing to think about whenever getting a venomous snake is everybody reacts to venoms differently. I could get bit by a copperhead and not show many signs at all, you know, mild swelling, being a little bit of pain. My friend could get bit by a copperhead and die within 5 minutes. The allergic reaction is horrible. If you get an allergic reaction, that's the main reason I don't keep spitting cobras. Is breathing in that venom, once it gets down into your lungs, you can become hypersensitive to different types of venom. So I don't see the point in taking that risk. But there was actually a guy this past year that got bit by a copperhead and was allergic to the venom and did die within 5 minutes. And the fastest acting venom in the world, as far as they know, or in most people's eyes, is a black mamba venom, and it at least takes 15 minutes to kill you. So thinking that 5 minutes for just a little copperhead bite, you know, it's pretty severe. But it's just all in the allergic reaction. So really, you know, it all comes down to the person. How do you know you're allergic to venom? You know, there's no real easy way to find out. But just hope that you ain't, you know. I always keep Benadryl on hand, and EpiPen is another great way to go. You should keep a couple EpiPens on hand, really. I haven't made the investment yet, but I haven't been handling much here recently. But still, you know, it'd be a smart thing to have around. But anyway, false water cobras don't really consider them venomous. I mean, they are, but you know, there's a lot of other snakes, like for instance your mangrove snakes, not mangrove pit vipers, the mangrove snakes. I've had those before. They're two totally different snakes. At nighttime, they are a feisty, grumpy little beast. In daytime, they're somewhat manageable. But they are very fast, very arboreal. So for that matter, they are hard to handle, even though they're not as bad as other snakes. Still, there's quite a bit of necrosis to the bite. It is very painful from what I hear, and just not fun. But I've never been tagged by anything, but that's not a snake I'd really want to get bit by. If I was to choose venomous snake, I guess, you know, okay. But just because you don't hear a lot of reports of people dying from it doesn't mean it's really, you know, ain't very venomous. The Boomslang is a great example. Up until, well, I mean, it was quite a while ago, but for a long time they were thought to be a non-lethal bite. But people were keeping them inside their collections, and then people started getting bit and started dying. And people found out, whoa, this venom is really not to be taken lightly. And people die every day from the Boomslang bite. You know, it's a pretty serious bite. But there for a long time, people didn't think it was bad. But still, I mean, copperheads, people think eyelash vipers. Eyelash vipers are a good starter snake, but they're arboreal, so they can climb up a hook very fast if need be. They're very striky little snakes. Sometimes they're hard to get to eat, so if you have to pin one to force feed it, you know, that can be a big ordeal. You never want to be afraid of a snake. You know, having a constant fear is good because then you have respect. But you know, being actually terrified or afraid to go into the cage and work with a snake, you know, just to say that you have a cobra ain't nothing. Can you safely work with the cobra is something to really consider, you know. If you're afraid to go in there and to get the cobra out, I really don't think it's worth having. If you need to use a shift box, there's no point. You know, my green Mamba, I think it's easier on me and easier on the snake if I just put him in a shift box. You know, he likes his hide box, so why not just close the door and take him out? Can I hook him out of the cage? Yes, I've done it numerous times. Is it easier on me and him if he goes inside a shift box? Yeah, I think it's easier. But anyway, that's mainly it. You know, there's a lot of arboreal vipers. The white-lipped head viper, that's a pretty cool little viper. They ain't too bad. I mean, the bite would not be fun from one, but I think hemotoxin's a way to go over neurotoxin, just for the main fact of the neurotoxin, you know, can kill you much faster, but the hemotoxin's going to make you suffer. One thing to consider is if you're keeping venomous snakes, is a local venomous snake. If you're going to get a venomous snake and you're not going to have any training, which I think is a horrible idea, it's always best to go through somebody else to be trained the proper way. There's things popping up like the Venomous Workshop and stuff like that that you should go check out and learn how to properly do it. But if you're going to find out if it's legal in your area and keep a native venomous snake. You know, around here we got little pygmy rattlesnakes. They're little guys, you know, but they don't stay on a hook too well. But their venom isn't too horrible, and if I do get bit by a pygmy rattlesnake, I can go to the local hospital and they do have anti-venom for it. So that's a big plus. You know, if you get bit by a gamoo viper, where are you going to find anti-venom? If you don't have it in stock yourself, which you should, it would be a great idea. But your local zoo, are they going to give up their vials if they have any on hand? If they do, you know, that's great, but now they're void of anti-venom if somebody there gets bit. So it's really something to think about. Copperheads are local a lot of places here in America. You know, those would be an okay starter, but I'm not going to say good for no means. I always think it's best to go through somebody else. But think about a snake where you can get anti-venom for it if all else fails. I've had the question of rattlesnakes. They don't ride hooks at all. Microtolus atrox, you know, that is a horrible bite if you get bit. It is very life-threatening. And keeping them on a hook is hard for me. I drop them all the time. I'll be downright honest. I'm glad they're pretty durable little guys because they're always hitting the floor. I like cobras because they can ride a hook pretty well. A lot of vipers will just ride off the end of the hook right in the floor. They don't care. Cobras tend to stay on a hook better, but then yet again they climb it and come at you. Their strike is incredibly fast. You can never reach into a cage on a cobra and try to change out anything because they're there in a heartbeat. So, you know, really go through your local person. If you don't have anybody local and you just have to get a venomous snake, do your research. Please don't just go out to your corner or wherever you can get a venomous snake and get, you know, Bothrops atrox or Bothrops asper or any of the Bothrops species for that matter. You know, that's just a bad idea. They're going to fly out of the cage on you. You ain't going to be able to keep it on a hook, and we'll see you on Fatal Attractions. Not a good deal. But anyway, so please go out, do your research as much as you possibly can. If I am starting to work with a new species, I've been working with all sorts of species since I was 15 years old. It's the first time I really handled a venomous snake, you know. I found some when I was 12 out in Arizona, played with some rattlesnakes. But when I was 12 or 15, I actually started handling venomous snakes. But, you know, unbeknownst to my mom, of course, I didn't blatantly go out of my way to tell her. But, which is not a good idea to all you kids at home. But, you know, go to your local person and everything, find out as much as you can. And I totally forgetting to say something. I went into that story for a reason. But, yeah, not thinking of it. So yeah, oh yeah, that's it. Whenever I get a new venomous snake, like a Malayan pit viper or something, I watch Viper Keepers videos, I Google it, just read as much as I can, watch as many videos just to see how they react in certain situations. How they react when you're taking a hook into the cage, how they react at feeding time, what their strike's like, just their normal movements, you know. So a lot of that stuff can really throw you off guard if you're not familiar with the species, even if you've been handling venomous snakes for years, you know. Every species is different, every snake is different. So venomous snake wise, if you want to start out, get a false water cobra, get a hognose snake, not a hognose viper, just a regular western eastern hognose. But you know, try to leave the other stuff alone until you can get some help figuring out what's going on. Hope this video didn't bore you to death. Copperheads ain't that good. They don't stay on a hook very well either. Their bite might not be that bad, but their strike sure is fast. A lot of times getting them to eat's kind of hard, but force feeding a snake, a venomous snake, your first one, trying to pin it and get that mouse down, it's no fun. So anyways, VenomMan20, hope you endured the whole video. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page under VenomMan20. Y'all have a wonderful night.